to lift up his holy name. Because he said in his word, if he be lifted up, he will draw souls unto him. So here we are to lift up his holy name, that souls be saved. Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah to the King. Let the Lord be praised. I praise his holy name. Keep my feet, Lord. Keep my feet, Lord. I will praise you all of my days. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. I come to you, dear Lord. I need your help today. I don't want to look back. I don't want to look back. I don't want to fall away. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. All my pain and my hurts, I come to you, my dear. Only you alone, only you alone can wipe away our tears. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. I will hold my brother's hands. Take them along with me. We all must walk in love and victory. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to the King. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
So, good day, everyone, again. It's a pleasure being here again. And we continue from where I had stopped last week. And the topic that will be focused on is the mystery of the Sabbath sign revealed. So, all scriptures is taken from the King James Version Bible. And the scriptures are the same. It's what we have been referring to from the beginning of this topic. So I hope that persons are understanding the Sabbath and having a clear picture on it based on the information being received. So, so as far as God is concerned, is not limited to 24 hours, but carries with it the following range of meanings. So, what I will be doing today is explaining the key facts to be used to unlock the mystery of the Sabbath question, right? So, for example, while it is generally believed and taught that the days mentioned in Genesis chapters 1, Genesis chapter 2, and Genesis chapter 3 are exclusively of 24 hours duration, for the God of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, who is the creator, a day could be 24 hours, 1 year, or as long as 1,000 years. So, brethren, these variations are hinted at in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 32, Ezekiel chapter 4, from verse 4 to 6, Psalm chapter 90, verse 4, and 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, but confirmed in Hosea chapter 5, verse 14 to 15, and Hosea chapter 6, verse 1 to 2. Now, with the understanding of the text that was just mentioned for persons to read, brethren, when we consider God's warning to Adam that he would have died in the very day that he ate the forbidden fruit, as we read in Genesis chapter 2, verse 17, we know that God did not lie, but knew that Adam would have died two deaths in the day that he ate the forbidden fruit. Now, while all of Christendom believe that Adam died spiritually in the day that he transgressed God's commandment and ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, very few understand that Adam also died physically in the first day, since that day for God was 1,000 years. Now, since Adam lived for 930 years, he also died physically in the first day, just as God had said in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 to 17. So, persons might ask the question, are you saying that Adam died physically in the very day also? And the answer to that is yes, he did. Now, how can that statement be justified? Now, it can be justified when one understands 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 8 and Hosea chapter 6 verses 1 to 2. One would also realize that Adam, having died some 930 years after his creation, in fact died physically in the first day, which was of 1,000 years duration. So this fact, brethren, is very crucial to understanding the Sabbath issue. So let us together consider another example where Jehovah uses the term days to mean days of 1,000 years duration. So the following is highlighted by the prophet Joel, who prophesied that God would pour out his spirit in the last days, which is Joel chapter 2, verse 29. Now, when the apostle Peter quoted Joel in Acts chapter 2, verse 17, to explain the beginning of the said phenomenon, we are sure that the days in question can never be of 24 hours duration. Neither could they be of 1 year duration, as might be deduced by reading Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 6. On the other hand, since the Apostle Peter places the last days of Joel chapter 2, verse 29, as far back as some 2,000 years ago, we are sure that the last days of Acts chapter 2, verse 17 must be of 1,000 years duration. With this knowledge in mind, I can now declare that the seventh day of Genesis chapter 2, verse 2 to 3 carries with it the projected meaning of the 1,000 years rest which planet Earth will experience when Christ shall reign as King of Kings and Lord of Lords in the seventh millennium from Adam's creation. At that time, even in the seventh day or seventh millennium from Adam's creation, Satan shall be imprisoned in the bottomless pit, and so would not be allowed to accuse the brethren day nor night as he is now doing. Because God knew that the seventh day from Adam's creation would be the first time that all of humanity would have rest or genuine Sabbath for 1 day or 1,000 years. He foreshadowed that millennial rest by his seventh day's rest of Genesis chapter 2 from verses 2 to 3. So this fact, brethren, is one of the keys to understand the Sabbath questions. Additionally, brethren, it is instructive to note that the seventh day of Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 to 3, has no evening and morning as the other 6 days of Genesis chapter 1, verses 5 to 31. And the reason for this is very simple indeed. For God's rest of Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 to 3, is not of 24 hours duration. Hence, no evening and morning could be ascribed to it, since that rest of Genesis chapter 2 from verses 2 to 3 foreshadowed God's millennial day's rest, when Christ shall be king over all the earth, when he reigns from Jerusalem. So, brethren, what was just mentioned from when I actually started speaking about the Sabbath till today are all the mysteries explained of the Sabbath sign. God, by his grace, has unlocked the doors of the vault in which the secrets of the Sabbath questions were stored. And so, your appetite has been stirred to study on the great mysteries of the Sabbath and the related matters. So, brethren, I hope as I close that the information given has come as a way to answer any direct questions and any sincere prayers to God for help on this subject or on this matter. So I hope that the Seventh-day Adventists, all Seventh-day Adventist brethren, that my sincere prayer to you is for God to open your eyes and understanding towards this serious issue, and hope that you actually find some of the answers to many of the questions which have baffled the Christian community for a very long time. So I will be live next week again, and I will be doing the last area on the Sabbath, and then the following week I'll move into a different topic area. So as I close, brethren, please be safe, and remember that Jesus Christ is returning. Please prepare yourselves for his return and spend time in reading his word. God bless, love you, and I will be live next week again.